Good morning, class 6. Let's continue with the chapter Ashoka, the emperor who gave up war. We have talked about Ashoka in the previous two classes, how he became the ruler, why he was famous in ancient Indian history. You have understood the term the dynasty. You have understood the difference between empire and kingdom, how what was the stretch of the Mauryan Empire, then why Ashoka gave up war even after winning the Kalinga war. He is the only ruler who gave up war after winning because he was very much influenced by seeing the bloodshed. Now we will begin with what was Ashoka's Dhamma. Ashoka's Dhamma did not involve worship of God or performance of a sacrifice. He felt that just as a father tries to teach his children, he had a duty to instruct his subject. So that means he felt that, like a father, it was his duty to teach his subject. He was also inspired by the teaching of Buddha. There were a number of problems that troubled him. People in the empire followed different religion, and this sometimes led to conflict. Animals were sacrificed, slaves and servants were ill treated. Besides, there were quarrels in families amongst neighbors. Ashoka felt it was his duty to solve these problems. So he appointed officials known as Dhamma Mahamata, who went from place to place teaching people about Dhamma. Besides, Ashoka got his message inscribed on rocks and pillars, instructing his officials to read his message to those who could not read themselves. So he felt that it was his duty, like a father, to tell his subject that how they should behave with their slaves or servants. They should not ill treat them. If there is a quarrel between the neighbors, he should sort it out. These messages were inscribed on the rocks and pillars, and he instructed these Dhamma Mahamatas to read out the instructions to the people who were illiterate or who could not read them. Ashoka also sent messages to spread ideas about Dhamma to other lands such as Syria, Egypt, Greece, and Sri Lanka. Try and identify these on map 6, page 76-77. He built roads, dug wells, and built rest houses. Besides, he arranged for medical treatment for both human beings and animals. So, he built roads, he got the wells dug up, and the rest houses were built for the travelers. He arranged the medical treatments for both human beings and animals. That means he was very much sympathetic. He was very caring about his subject. Ashoka's messages to his subject. People perform a variety of ritual when they fall ill, when their children get married, when children are born, or when they go on a journey. These rituals are not useful. If instead people observe other practices, this would be more fruitful. What are these other practices? These are being gentle with slaves and servants, respecting one's elders, treating all creatures with compassion, giving gifts to Brahmins and monks. It is both wrong to praise one's own religion or criticize another's. Each one should respect the other's religion. If one praises one's own religion while criticizing another's, one is actually doing greater harm to one's own religion. So he gave these messages to his subject. He said that there are people who perform various rituals, like if they fall ill or after they have got their children married, or if they go on a journey. But what they should do instead of doing all these things, they should be gentle to their slaves and servants. First thing, they should respect their elders. Second, thirdly, they should treat with compassion with all the creatures, give gifts to Brahmins and monks, and they should not praise their own religion or criticize the other religion. If one should, they should have respect for one's own religion as well as respect for other religion. If one praises one's own religion while criticizing another religion, it is actually doing greater harm. Like if somebody is doing this, then that means the person is doing more harm than getting the goodwill of God. Therefore, one should try to understand the main ideas of another's religion and respect it. Pandit Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, wrote, his edicts, instructions still speak to us in a language we can understand, and we can still learn much from them. Identify the parts of Ashoka's message that you think are relevant today. Now, elsewhere, somewhat before the time of the modern empire, about 2400 years ago, emperors in China began building the Great Wall. It was meant to protect the northern frontier of the empire from pastoral people. Additions to the wall were made over a period of 2000 years because the frontiers of the empire kept shifting. The wall is about 6,400 kilometers long and is made of stone and brick, with a road along the top. Several thousand people worked to build the wall. There are watchtowers all along, at distance of about 100 to 200 meters. In what way do you think Ashoka's attitude towards neighboring people was different from that of Chinese emperor? So you can just see that what was happening simultaneously. It is like the contemporary. Ashoka and this Chinese ruler were contemporary, same time. So there, you can see what there are difference, and this wall was built in the same time period. Now question answers, I will be sending it with the in the Google Classroom. Please do write the question answers. Exercises you can do it in the book. Thank you class. Take care of yourselves. Be safe at home.